Well, the COVID-19 pandemic has obviously created a brand new normal for most of us, and that has been no stranger to organizations here in the Ocean State. The Rhode Island Interscholastic League is navigating a new normal. Hi, everybody. I'm Stone Freeman, and today we're joined by the executive director of the Rhode Island Interscholastic League. It's Michael Lunney. Michael, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well, Stone. Thanks for having me.
There are a lot of variables right now that are kind of making this new normal for the Interscholastic League. But how have you and the rest of your team at the Interscholastic League kind of navigated the last couple months in making sure that students can play?
Basically, a year ago, when we started really just trying to figure out, everyone across the world was trying to figure out how to deal with the pandemic. Everybody was isolated. Everyone was on remote learning. We are part of schools, and obviously everything we do has to have an eye towards how it impacts education. So unfortunately, last spring we had to cancel all of our spring sports. And during that time, we were very active, collaborating with our fellow state associations across the country. We're one of 51. And so we collaborated together, got together with our own sports medicine advisory committee, worked with state officials, and just really tried to figure out how can we provide participation opportunities for the more than 36,000 student athletes that we serve every year. So heading into the school year, working with the state and the Department of Health, unfortunately, football and girls volleyball were considered high risk sports, and they were not approved for play in the fall. So we had a goal, or we set out and have been working this plan to make sure every kid has their opportunity to play their sport this year. So rather than just cancel those sports, we actually went to a 4-season model this year, which is one more than our traditional 3 that we normally do. So right now we're in season 3 of 4 seasons, and we're scheduled football and girls volleyball and unified volleyball and also cheer. And those sports are going on right now. So, every season's had its own challenges, and we've been just kind of working through it and trying to learn as we go.
So as you mentioned, there's 2 more seasons this year, season 3 that's going to conclude, and then into season 4, and then even later on into after the summer, the fall season. But how do you foresee the rest of this academic year and then also going into the fall season of 2021?
So everything we've been doing has been really week to week, day to day, just monitoring, what's obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty, and there's an unpredictability with the virus. So I think the positives that we are heading into right now is that the majority of our sports are outdoors, which has shown to be safer. But the virus is still here, and although there's a lot of optimism about the vaccine rolling out and people having a little bit more of a positive outlook about things, I mean, we still have a ways to go. But we are excited because, we have a number of sports that are going to be coming up in the springtime once the season 3 is over. And we'll be outside. Hopefully that things are going to trend in a really positive direction the rest of the way. And although we'll be cautious in how we approach things with our safety protocols, we feel very confident that we'll be able to get all of our sports in and meet our goal of providing every kid with their opportunity to share.
Well, due to the pandemic, obviously, you guys are probably learning some new things that you wouldn't have known without going through the pandemic, which is normally the case here, navigating the new normal. But what is something that maybe you and the rest of the league have learned that you might not have learned if you haven't gone through something like the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, I think that, we've had to reimagine almost every single sport in how we've approached things. So I think that what we've learned mostly is that, while the kids are engaged in play, that, obviously we're not trying to change the way that they play the games at all. But being in a pandemic, I think what our goal has been, our mission has been to encourage and support our schools in making sure that they social distance everywhere except when they're engaged in play. And I think that's, we focused a lot about, locker rooms, sidelines, when they come out of substitution areas, finding places where they can go to take a mask break, to get water, just rethinking all of those situations to try to make it as safe as we can make it. So, that along with sanitization and the mask wearing, I think those three categories for us have worked really well and allowed us to have successful seasons so far.
Michael, you mentioned something a couple times, two words in particular: participation and engagement. I think I know the answer to this question, being a former athlete myself, but I want to hear it from you. How important is it, with everything going on in this world right now, that despite the pandemic, the Rhode Island Interscholastic League gives student athletes in the state of Rhode Island a chance to be engaged and to participate in something like sports? How important is that for student athletes?
Well, as you know from being a former athlete, I mean, these high school experiences are irreplaceable. I mean, it's once it passes, it's gone forever. It's a special time in a kid's life. So we've, just what you said. I mean, our focus has not been about championships, and obviously everybody wants to do that. They want to win and get to championships. But our focus has truly just been on giving kids opportunities to participate in the sports that they love, and it's important for a kid in school because studies have shown that kids that participate in high school sports tend to do better in school. They have better attendance rates, they have lower dropout rates, they have fewer discipline problems. So re-engaging kids into the school atmosphere is very important to their educational process, and so. That's been our focus. That's what we've been, we've made that really clear to all of our schools. And to be honest, I mean, it's not been a perfect year, and because there is so much unpredictability out there. And unfortunately, when we do get to the playoffs, there have been times where schools have been unfortunately taken out of the playoffs because a team has been quarantined or missed the playoffs altogether for those kind of things. But the key part is that they had their opportunity to play, and that's such an important thing, and I think that's what's been going on across the country in all the state high school associations. So it's been a tough challenge. It's been a grind. I want to commend our schools, our superintendents, our principals, our coaches, our athletic directors have done an unbelievable job of implementing all the protocols and making sure that things are safe for kids to participate. So, so far it's been good, and we're proud of all the efforts that have gone on, and we're continuing to learn because every season has been a little bit different.
Last thing for you, and again, I know that the importance of taking it day by day with so much unpredictability. But how are things shaping up for the fall? Has that been a topic of conversation yet, or has it been just trying to and navigating through the next two of the seasons this year before even thinking about fall?
Yeah, we've actually just started the process of looking at fall sports and meeting with our sport committees. The good news is that we're planning for a normal season, and when I say that, meaning the normal length of season, same amount of games as we normally would have, length of the season. But again, there's still some uncertainty as to what restrictions might still be around come the fall. Whether that be capacity issues for facilities, whether that be continued mask wearing, if depending on where we are with vaccinations. But I think that the great part for us is to be able to get back into a normal flow of planning for a full season of participation. So we don't expect any delays to our season, which is great. And it's going to be a short turnaround because once the spring season is over, it's going to be pushing the end of June. And then obviously in the middle of August is when we start our fall sports season. So there's not going to be a whole lot of rest this summer, but we'll get right back at it in the fall with a full slate of offerings.
Well, excellent. Thank you again for joining us. Again, folks, this is Michael Lunney from the Rhode Island Interscholastic League. He's an executive director. Thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to chat with us, and good luck with the rest of the seasons this year and then into your fall season as well.
Thanks, Don. Great to be with you.